Hi Jake, how are you?
Rachel, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I'm one of the many who online yesterday were talking about how this show just felt like that nostalgia that we really longed for from our Saturday morning cartoons as kids. For you, how was it getting to see those first reactions and seeing all of us kind of gushing about being taken back to our childhood, but also how this show has so much more for X-Men fans to love?
I will lead with that it is humbling. It is a breath of fresh air. The shoulders are coming down, right? Ah, but also to be very candid, I'm not surprised. And I say that because I believe in the team that we have. I believe in the work that we are all doing. From moment one, from scripts, from Bible, from powers, Brad Winterbaum, Dana Vasquez, Everhart, Bo DeMeo, from all the powers that be, they knew where they wanted the show to go. Um, and in turn, our team has delivered. Our team worked very hard, is continuing to work very hard. Everybody is passionate about the X-Men IP in one way, shape, form, or another. And I'm not surprised that the hard work and the passion that everybody has put on this show is coming through. Just to clarify, not to sound cocky, but like I am not surprised because this is the goal. This was the goal for people to feel the nostalgia, for people to remember the X-Men are back, for people to want more, and then also go, oh, this is saying something. It's all those things because you look at the end of the day, X-Men is and always has been an allegory for prejudice. The minute
Mhm.
you take that away, it is no longer the X-Men. It becomes a different superhero, team. And having an IP that is capes and cows, but also speaks to the grander scope of what's going on outside of our windows. Uh, yeah, man, sign me up, sign the rest of the team up, and we're just glad it's being received the way it is.
I love it so much because I do like my brother. I told him I was watching these and he got so mad because it was like when we were both kids. He's older than me, but it was the show that we're like we both remember watching in the 90s. And I'm a Wanda girl. I have my Wanda on my arm. Like, and I know she's not an X-Men, but she is one of the most powerful mutants.
She's a
And she
daughter of one of the X-Men.
and she is a daughter of an X-Men. But when there is such a caliber like that, like you have Wanda, who's not really an X-Men, but she kind of is. You have like all these other mutants who aren't actually part of the team, but they are so important to the lore. Was there a character that you really wanted to include in this series that you were like, maybe that's for a future season of X-Men 97?
I don't know if I could even speak to that because that might be a spoiler. And
Well,
also,
cool.
patience pays off. What doesn't happen in season one sometimes happens in season two, and I go, yay, I'm spoiled.
When I do love, like you were saying, the X-Men are an allegory for prejudice, and that has always kind of been part of the lore of this team, and especially in today's world it is so important to kind of have them back, and that does feel like it feeds into that nostalgia as well. But I also love that this specific era, like they are longer, which is so exciting to me because I'm used to being like you sit down for 15 minutes and that's all you kind of have. Was that daunting to know that you guys had to fill a half an hour slot, or were you just excited that you had that?
Honestly, it was a relief. It's such a funny question because you think, oh, we have to fill up all that content. No, that's not the hard part. The hard part is cutting because you have to have story points and things and threads and oh, in order for this to pay off here, you have to build it here and so in our medium, it's always we'd rather have padding than having to fill. So and we never have to fill. We never have to fill. It's always what is concise? What is the best thing for the story? What hinders the story? What hinders the narrative? Cool, pull that out, pull that out, pull that out, put that in, put those closer together. Um, so yeah, in a really funny, ironic way, it was relieving to have a longer runtime because we so many times, thank goodness for streaming, right? The medium as it is, because it is kind of its own time frame. When you're on broadcast, you're at the mercy of commercials and time slots and as you are well aware with X-Men, there's a lot of themes and characterizations and important heavy stuff that gets dealt with. You can't just sweep over that. Sometimes in order to receive an emotional beat, it's not about the action or dialogue, it's about what the character is not saying. It's
Mhm.
about the slow moments. It's about the that character side of breath. and taking the time to live in those uncomfortable moments or victory moments. But you know, it comes down to taking the time. And
Mhm.
so for us, that's a godsend. It's like, oh, we can have Scott and Jean just linger, you know, staring at each other for an extra 30 minutes. That's wonderful. Not that long, but you know, it's we can afford to let, and but when I say afford, I mean time afford. We can afford to let these characters breathe in this space. Oh, we can let this character feel this out. So that it's actually been it I think I feel like it's an advantage for us to lean into storytelling.
Yeah. I love it so much. Thank you for talking with me. Thank you for giving me Gambit in a crop top. I was having the time of my life. I've never been happier. So
I'm gonna get shout out to Jalen Harden who boarded that sequence. That is my favorite shot from storyboard all the way to there. It's him when he's leaning back, right? When he's leaning
yeah.
back, it's looking at Gene and Scott, and also he's cooking hot beignets in that. Just saying,
Yeah, yeah.
hot one,
So good.
my
I love
man.
it. I love it. But thank you so much for talking with me,
Of
and I
course.
can't wait for people to get to see X-Men 97.
Same. Thank you so much. Take care.